Now listen, hang with me, because you are combining the desire of the customer to want to be able to go, look what I made.
Welcome to the Business and Pleasure of Flowers. We're your hosts, Vonda Lefevre
and Lori Wilson, and we believe that business and fun are a perfect combination. Kind of like us, Vonda.
Lori, after our podcast last week about when it rains, it pours, I will say that was my week for the rain, it pours week.
Really? What happened?
Well, I had a whole lot of little personal things happen, but then I went to open the garage door and the garage door wouldn't work. And then my sidewalk was heaving out front, which means that the water line was probably just about ready to burst. So I had to dig all that up to find the water line. And then we had to have a tree removed, and then they had to grind the stump. And it was one thing after another.
We shouldn't have talked about it.
We shouldn't have, because you knew it was your turn. So then it was my turn. And it's okay. It's all fine. But
yes, it's all figure-outable.
It was figure-outable.
That's what happens. That's what happens. I did get a lot of people texting and emailing. It always cracks me up to when people listen to the podcast, the time of day or whatever, and then they'll text me, I just listened, and, they'll either say, congratulations. I got a lot of that.
Oh, I bet you did.
They heard about the baby coming. Not mine. You're just listening.
Just to be clear, it's not Lori who's having a baby.
You're be a grandma, not a mother again. Don't want to start any rumors. But
I remember when I was pregnant with Ellie Jo. So I would go into church, and everybody kind of knows. But then a girlfriend of mine, her name was Bonnie, and she had a daughter named Sarah, and I had a son named Sayer, and they were in school together. And so then the priest said to Bonnie, oh, congratulations, I hear you're expecting again. And Pat, her husband, goes, well, I sure the heck hope not.
Oh, no.
Hilarious. And I'll never forget that when you're talking about expecting. And she's like, oh, no.
No. Yes, I have learned never to even ask unless they're 9 months pregnant.
Oh, we've all been down that road before.
You're saying, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Never.
You never say, when are you expecting, when you think somebody looks like they have a little bit of a tummy.
No.
Not a good idea.
No. So anyway, all right. I've been doing a lot of custom emails for our Flower Click members this week.
Mm-hmm.
Which is always fun. You know me. I love to do it. And my little sidekick, Sherry, has been helping me too. And she likes to do them too. So we've been working on that. And mostly because of open houses.
Oh, okay. So there's a lot of going on, open houses?
Yeah. I can only speak to the people in email marketing.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So not one in Flower Click is in our email marketing program, but those that are, many of them are having open houses. And it makes me happy because I feel like we went through a time where a lot of people kind of stopped having those. I feel like it ebbs and flows.
I agree. I think that's true. You get to where like, well, nobody came in. And then people I think are like, well, it's been a few years, so maybe we should try it again.
Yeah. You and I were kind of talking this morning about, what's been going on in the industry? What should we be talking about? And I was like, I feel like maybe some marketing stuff. It's kind of that time of year.
It really is. And that's what we were kind of going down that path. Like, what could our shops, our clickers who are listening do to really promote the holidays coming up? Because I know everybody's nervous about what's going to happen. And the worst thing you can do is sit back and do nothing and worry, right?
And just freeze up.
Can't do that. And so it's like, get with your staff and start thinking about things you can do in your market, because everybody's market's a little bit different. Honestly, you've got to know your customers or your community. And then from there you go, okay, maybe this will work. And so we were brainstorming and came up with a few ideas.
Right. Well, and I want to go back to what you said, because I think that is so important. Tap into your team. Tap into your team. Have a little round table, because many shops have team members that have been there forever. They have seen it all.
Mhm.
They have seen COVID.
Mm.
They have seen pre-pandemic. They have seen post-pandemic. They've seen it all, and they have some ideas. Tap into those people.
And some people who are brand new, they might have even some better ideas, Lori,
Right,
because they
right.
are out in the community and maybe they've seen things that you haven't before, or maybe they come from a different town or a different city. A
Generation.
different generation. Right. Right. Yeah, I like that. Tap into your team. Ooh, of course.
Yeah, yeah, it had to be in an alliteration. Yep, yep.
Alliteration.
But it's good, and just brainstorm, like, what do we wanna do for marketing this year? And it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. A lot of times, people get very gun shy about marketing because 'cause you're like, "I don't have a marketing budget."
Right. Mhm.
Hear that a lot. I'm like, "That's okay.
With social,
That's
you don't
okay."
have to. You just have to get yourself out there. You just have
Right.
to get yourself out there, which some people don't want to, but this is the year you're gonna have to. You just have to make it a priority, and I know you've said that over and over and again. Just take the leap, right?
Make yourself known.
Yeah. Yeah, so we started talking about what it is that you can do to promote the holiday, and you mentioned something about centerpiece next level.
Okay, so I was thinking about this over the weekend, and I wanted to bring it up, and I might have a lot of naysayers, and that's okay, because again, this is just an idea
Mhm.
from my perspective, and it stemmed from a conversation I was having with my sister-in-law about centerpieces for a birthday party. So,
Okay.
something totally irrelevant to holidays, but it was also one of those kind of funny conversations where I have to always remind people, "I'm not a designer. Help you here. I could help you order flower." Like, I can do a lot of things, but I can't make a centerpiece. Anyway, but I started thinking about centerpieces and Thanksgiving and Christmas and, my disdain for the colors of Thanksgiving and fall.
Mm.
I like all those colors and how I can't wait to move past it. But here's what I was thinking. If I was a flower shop, could it work? Just let me throw this out. Try to see my vision, Vonda, and you as the business owner, tell me if this would work or not. You know how you have like a whole tab of centerpieces. You have traditional, you have tapered candle, you have pillar candle, you have all the different centerpieces.
Mm.
But in my world of TikTok and Instagram reels, all of the things,
Mhm.
I see all of the DIYers making their own centerpieces and making everything, and I was like, "Oh, I wanna do that." And again, I have no skills, but in my mind, I think I could. But I can't. If I just went to Trader Joe's and bought flowers and brought them home, I have no thing to put them in to make a centerpiece. I only have vases. I don't have foam. I don't have the low meter. Like, I got nothing,
So, let's
right?
be honest, Lori. If you went to Trader Joe's and you had foam and you had a container, you would
I
be
so
FaceTiming Vonda to say, "Okay,
I
where
would,
where
and
do
I have done this before. Right.
Yeah. Yes,
Every
yeah,
time I
just
make anything, I end up FaceTiming you and going, "Help me. I don't know what to do. I'm panicking. I don't know what to do."
Okay,
So
sorry, I just
right.
go ahead.
Exactly.
Mhm.
So, the reality is, it's one thing if you just go to Trader Joe's, it's quite another when you bring those suckers home
Mhm.
and go, "Well, now what do I do?"
Right.
Right?
True.
So, what if a flower shop had a centerpiece kit? Okay?
Okay.
Now listen, hang with me, because you are combining the desire of the customer to want to be able to go, "Look what I made,"
Right.
for their people, and yet you have to make it foolproof, though. You would have the bundle of flowers they would need, you would have whatever is needs to be in that kit, simple,
Mhm.
based on color. So it wouldn't be super, super high-end flowers. I honestly don't really care what the flowers are
Mhm.
in it. It's gonna be color, whether it's Thanksgiving or Christmas. But I also would need on your Instagram or YouTube a type of
Oh,
video
yeah. Mhm.
showing that how you made this. and it can't be too super long, and it can't be too detailed. I
Mhm.
need to be able to kind of like poke, 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 and it's kind of foolproof. You know what I
I like
mean?
that.
You know,
Poke, 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 poke. Yes. Ta-da.
kind of like the jobs you had me do at Ellie's wedding. Like, oh yeah, I can poke in the bear grass. Absolutely, I can make those loops. Easy peasy.
Mhm.
Things like that. And I know this can be done. And I feel like people would buy this because you could buy the kit, come home, I would watch the video, I'd make it, and I would tell every person that came in for Thanksgiving, "Look, yes, I made that. I made that centerpiece."
Right.
But here's my question
Mhm.
to you. Is it profitable for a florist, a flower shop, to sell something like that? Because I have got tons of ideas of how you would market it
Sure.
and the target audience, but none of that even matters to go down that road if it's not gonna have any ROI.
Well, you definitely would be an ROI. I mean, you would just price it the correct way, right? You're not thinking, I'm going to price these like Trader Joe's. You're going to take your price of your flowers. You're going to take a markup. You don't have to take as big of a markup because you're not going to have as much waste. You know, each one of those flowers that's in the kit, when you sell that kit, it's going out the door and you don't have to worry about that. So take a look at what you have, take your markup, foam. You know, when they buy a block of foam somewhere, which is less quality than what they're going to get from you, it's probably $4 to $5 a block, you know, so you're making money on that. And then whatever the container is, could be a simple design bowl that they could drop into their other pretty bowl that they have at home. So it can be profitable, Lori. I don't think that's it. I think it's the marketing of it to get people in and try to sell more than one or two, right? It's like, can't
Right.
make it to the class, come pick up the project and make it yourself
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing I kinda like about it because it's for a different audience than that class audience.
Mhm.
Because to be honest, I don't know if I'm that class audience. Sometimes I think I used to
I
be.
think if you were with other girlfriends, you would, right?
Yeah.
So I not
Well, I used to be. I was very into the class audience,
okay,
but maybe at this particular season of my life,
right.
I may just be more of the grab and go.
Yeah. Mhm,
Does that make sense?
mhm,
And I don't know. You're right. It would depend on whoever. But this is a different kind of
mhm.
audience. There are busy working moms with kids at home that don't have time or maybe can't get a sitter that can't go participate.
I know a lot of shops did this during COVID. One to call
Yeah.
out Todd Bussey at Bussey's Flowers. He did that they picked him up at
Other town did it
yeah,
too.
yeah, and they picked him up,
Or
and then there was a video, and then they would do that. So there's some shops that really already have this experience. They just need
Mhm.
to market it, right? Just
Yeah,
get out there
yeah,
and do it this time of year because people do wanna do things. It's about experiences. I mean, all the shopping is telling you that. Make it an
yeah,
experience.
yeah. Well, I think it kind of complements the shops that also have a flower bar.
Mhm.
And I love the concept of a flower bar, but again, I could get overwhelmed because 'cause I'm like, "Okay, I don't quite know what to do
Right,
in the flower bar,
right.
like, what all to do." So, I need a tutorial. I need a little help. I need some
You need a little
guidance.
direction.
I just need a little direction.
Mhm.
So, that's where the marketing part comes in. So, anyway, that was one of my ideas, and I think that doing it for Christmas too, or you could even parlay that into a wreath.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
You don't do a centerpiece, do it with a wreath as long as you had a video, so I think
A wreath, a
I don't
buffet table, could be make your own Christmas tree, you know, the little boxwood trees that people are doing
uh-huh.
that. I mean, there's so many things that you could do in the little kits, but my caution would be don't do too many at one time. Otherwise, you're limiting
No,
yourself and you're not gonna make a profit on any of them because it's like, "Oh, I
no.
was planning on
I would
selling
offer,
10."
like, 1 centerpiece, 2 color schemes,
Mhm.
or size, depending on the size,
Yeah.
and, like, the table size, right? Like, are you gonna have 12 people or you're gonna have 8 people for 8 or 12 or whatever, and
Yeah. Yeah, that would
and
make the big difference for sure. So, other things that we would think of for bringing people in or making extra money during the holiday.
mm,
One thing I think that we did years ago that people didn't advertise for, people just normally did it, was bring in your own container. What kind of container do you have at your house? Now, you can't take that into a big box store and have them make something for you. So custom arrangement, bring in your container and let
yeah,
us design something special for your table. I don't know if we can do
yeah.
something like that with marketing because a lot of times people don't think of that.
You brought that up this morning, and I'd never known that, and I love that idea, especially for the holidays, because I have a couple of vases that were my mother's,
Mm,
and that kinda hit a sentimental part of me, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I would love to take in a vase of hers and have a beautiful design made in it, and then be able to have it for the holidays, and then all of my family that comes home, show them, like, "This was grandma's face,
mm.
and I had" like, that's super special,
Yeah.
and again, the experience and pulling at those heartstrings in such a good way, in a beautiful way, I think is a fabulous marketing idea, and I hate to say it that way because it almost sounds shallow to use it as a marketing, but
Mm.
it's a what a beautiful tribute
Yeah. No, no, no.
to do that for your customer.
One thing I will say that some shops will shy away from that because of the liability of that
Well,
container.
that's what I was getting ready to ask. If
And what we would always do would we'd say, "Bring it in, let us see it." And most of the time, we'd try to find something that would fit in there. So it would be a liner for that container,
sure.
or we would take the size of it, measure it, and then if it's like
Yeah,
an actual vase, we do a hand tie that would go down in that. So
yeah,
we would be very careful of the container because of the liability. But I'm just going to encourage you to try this because you can just send the container back out with the customer and say, "That is just absolutely gorgeous. I'm so thrilled to be able to make this for you. Why don't you take it? We have now something that we can just be able to drop it in and come back and pick it up and you'll just drop it in there." I like that you said it just tugs at your heartstrings.
right, I thought about that too. I thought of if people would be worried
Hmm.
about breaking it. Mark and I, for our wedding gift, we got the most beautiful it's a Waterford crystal
Mm,
vase,
yeah.
very, very nice, and I thought, I would be scared to bring that in to just any old flower shop,
Mhm.
and I worked at that flower shop, I'd be
Yeah.
terrified of it, so that makes more sense.
Well,
But
there's horror stories, Lori, about people bringing things in and then it goes in the cooler and it gets cold and then it goes out in the delivery van and it was 90 degrees and the crystal broke or something.
yeah,
So there's
yeah,
all kinds of horror stories, I call them.
yeah, I just
And
don't think
so that's
no,
why, yeah, I would encourage.
I wouldn't leave it. There's no way I would leave that vase at a any flower. I just don't think I'd leave it at a
But
flower
you
shop.
would take it to
But
throw
I'd
them.
take it to size it
Yeah,
up.
that wouldn't bother you, would it, to do it that way?
No, no,
No.
no, 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 but I probably wouldn't let it go out of my hands because I would worry for them that if it did break on their watch, how they would just feel horrible.
Yeah. Oh, no, yes, we would.
Yeah,
Yes, we
exactly.
would, Lori.
No, I do, I like that idea, and being able to post on your social media to offer that.
And
Uh,
show it would be really cool too, because I was picturing that. It's like, get like 6 different containers that, or your mom's or whatever, or somebody in the shop, and then just have people going like this against the
yeah,
table and just
love
show
it.
all these different ones that were like really cool. You're like, "Bring yours.
Yes,
Let us see what we can do for you."
love
But
that.
you gotta give them an example because they wouldn't really think about it otherwise. Anyway, it'd be
No,
fun.
I had never thought about that. Love it.
Yeah. So, in classes, you said that a lot of people on social media are promoting their classes.
Lot of people are promoting classes. I think it's interesting how they get so busy during the holidays. I mean, holidays is notoriously the busy season, yet that's when they do classes too.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm like, which makes you even busier, right? But yeah, they're doing a lot of wreath classes, boxwood tree
Mhm.
classes. People are still doing the what is that called? The cornucopia?
Cornucopia. Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we have stopped
Okay.
doing that. Again, this is just my little slice of email marketing
Mhm.
that I know. I'm sure there's more doing others. But we did have an interesting conversation in Shop Talk a couple weeks ago. We had one of our shops, which is kind of up in the Northeast, and she is just now dipping her toe into doing classes. And she's having a bit of a hard time getting people to the classes.
Mhm.
And so she was asking, like, how do I get a following? How do I get people? I think she did some social media. She didn't do any emails,
Okay.
but she did social media and she did like post through her chamber of commerce something, and she only got like 3 people
Good.
sign up.
Mhm.
It was her very first time,
Sure.
and but it was interesting to hear the feedback through our other shops that have, been doing it for years, and some of them said that the way they started out, one of them said they literally went to their dentist office and offered to do a class for their staff for free
Wow.
as a gift,
Mhm.
and that's how they started, and it just kinda took off, and they did for their dentist office, and they did it for some other office for free. They did 2, and then they just started getting a following, and they took a ton of pictures and started posting them, and then somebody at the dentist office had a bunko group that wanted to do a wreath making, so they reached out to them, and then it just kinda they told somebody, and they told somebody, and they told somebody, and,
I just
you
think
know
it's a great idea to offer even for an office party. I mean, not free, right? You could do it for
Right,
X
right,
amount, maybe that you have a minimum of 10 people and it's $75 per person, minimal,
right,
probably something
right,
like that. And so for $750, they could have a great party for the
right.
staff, and then the staff could take it home with them and they'd have a great Christmas gift, but again, time is the whole
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
But if you did it at the beginning of the week when it's not as busy, you could definitely do that.
right. There's another shop was saying that they've done some with some nonprofits, like, oh, it wasn't the VA, but it was a segment of the VA. I can't remember the name of them, but anyway, like, they have a certain budget for things like
Oh.
this, and they're like, reach out to some of the nonprofits, especially when you're first starting out, because they're always looking for little things like this to supplement for smaller groups
Mhm.
and come in and do this, and they can't always pay, like, a high premium, but they can pay something. And so they had really good luck with these types of groups too. So,
If you have a garden club, they're usually willing to pay a good price for a good
yes.
quality teaching session.
Right.
They really
Right.
are. They're all about
Right.
the art. They're all about making something, and they're a little bit more elevated than a lot of people, right? And so
Right.
it's
Right.
it's so much fun to work with the garden club.
Right.
That's a really great
Right.
one.
Yeah, we do have a lot of members that work with their garden
Mm,
club, and they have great so,
mhm.
anyway, yeah, the classes always seem to be really, really a big hit during there, and a lot of our members do the kids' classes.
Yeah, yeah. Those are fun. They really are.
They
You just need a little bit more staff there than you do
need a
for a
little bit
regular.
more staff,
Mhm.
you make 'em super simple,
Yeah.
make them fun, and they tend to work out really, really well.
So the other one that we were talking about that just cracks me up, Lori, is one of your favorite reels that you like to watch.
Oh, yeah, my ribbon reels. I'm obsessed with them on TikTok. So, he if you have a skill, I mean, all florists have amazing skills, but there are so many different ways to make bows.
Mhm.
And there are so many different sizes and textures of ribbon out there in the world.
Yeah.
And right now, because we're in holiday season, I'm just obsessed with all the different ribbons.
Yes, you are.
And I keep watching all of the ribbon tutorials, and I'm amazed at all of the bow making
Mhm.
and the beautiful elegant bows that come. alive with these people's hands, and I still can't figure it out. It's like magic to me because it never turns out that way.
And you've tried and tried and tried,
And
Lori.
I've tried, I've
You
tried,
have.
I've tried. I remember last year practicing because I was watching this tutorial and I was like, if you use your feet and you do all this stuff, I'm like, Mark, what are you doing? I was like, it's such a use. So I have like one foot and I'm using it. And I did get a couple of good ones, but he's like, he goes, well, what if you don't have any feet? How are you supposed to make the bow? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, it was just crazy.
Oh my
It was crazy, but I was using my feet.
I've never heard of making a bow using your feet.
Yes, I did. I've had 3 on my tree made from feet.
And you know what? Some funny person who made that video thought, I wonder if anybody's going to try it.
And it was me. I used my foot. I used my feet. Or one foot.
So my question to you is, so you keep trying to make these and you get so frustrated, and then I see you just let go of the bow and all this ribbon goes everywhere. And
Yes.
You buy nice ribbon.
Yes, I've got so much ribbon over there. Like really nice. And some of it was given to me by Derek Woodruff from Syndicate.
Nice ribbon.
And I'm like, I'm so excited, but I don't know what to do with it.
So my question is, if you took that ribbon and a flower shop would make bows for you, or someone, would make bows for you and they charged you $5 each, would you do it?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. But here's the problem, not with me, the customer.
Mm-hmm.
The problem lies within the flower shop owner who has a big heart.
Mm-hmm. Well, or
it doesn't charge.
Sometimes they won't charge, or they'll charge a little tiny bit, or they'll say, we only make bows with our own ribbon. Because I've been there before too. And they're like, oh, no, you can buy our ribbon, but, because they want to sell the ribbon. So.
Right. But one of our flower shop owners just the other day in our Facebook group made the comment, like, I am so over myself. Like somebody came in with ribbon, started talking to her, telling her her life story. By the end, 30 minutes later and 5 bows later, she handed her these beautifully made bows and basically said, I'm so sorry for your life. Here's your gift. And took all this time. And she's like, I didn't try. And I'm like, yeah, that's
the heart of a flower shop owner. Yeah. But that lady would have happily paid $25 for those bows.
Right. But so make sure people know.
Yeah. You even have a sign. We're happy to make bows with your own ribbon at $5 each.
$5 each.
Or whatever it needs to be. I mean, of course, if they have a huge ribbon, it needs to be more. So
if you have an employee that's really, really good at it and they have the time and that can do that, I say market that.
Yeah.
It's this much with our ribbon. It's this much if you bring in your own.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of times when you're using your ribbon in the store, you're not going to charge extra to make the bow because you're making the money on the ribbon. So it's like our ribbon was per yard. We'll make the bow for you, or bring in your ribbon. It's going to be $5 for an average size bow. So
right. But I would want bows for my Christmas tree.
Yeah.
I would pay someone to make those really nice bows.
I agree, Lori.
Because I can watch the videos all day long. These hands were not made for bow making.
And I can honestly, feet are not made for bow making.
I don't know. It works.
I'm with Mark on that one.
And then I was like, this is weird. It's just so weird.
Well, good ideas. Hopefully spark a little bit of interest in people to get a market in for the holidays.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We hope you enjoyed spending time with us because we enjoy spending time with you. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button or add the business and pleasure of flowers to your Google morning routine or your flash briefing on Alexa. We look forward to seeing you next week.
So please come back and join us and discover how a bit of knowledge and one small change in your mindset can take you to new levels in your life and business.